So AWPs can be so huge on locking down, even if just locking down that cap position. And Nitro, he had maybe one good round with the AWP. When you're going up against someone like Voxic, who's hitting a lot more shots and a lot more dominant, has huge presence, that's where the AWP factor can really, I guess, fail a team like Liquid, because we know they don't have one. They just didn't have as many, not gimmicky, but CT rifle setups to deal with that and actually make sure that the AWP couldn't get room to find kills.
Yeah, Voxic bailed them out as well. I think he had three clutches for HellRaisers, or 1 versus X, I should say. Could be a 1v1.
Well, if we build on this, the first game was 16-10 in the favor of Liquid. They won 3 clutches to 0 of HellRaisers. In the second game, both teams were tied on opening kills. That's 13 apiece. And then the factor was the clutches went even, 3 clutches each, and then HellRaisers still able to win. So those factors were kind of mitigated in this game. That shows that HellRaisers were just better overall.
And I am a Bondic fanboy. I feel like Bondic and NAF have been the most eye-opening performances we've seen from the players in the server. NAF with that pistol round, which just looked ridiculous, glorious, and then Bondic, who's just been this turret, this anchor that I don't think any other team can rival. Now, Chad, you do have a play you selected. You wanted to take a look at. You called this one
When Right Goes Wrong.
When Right Goes Wrong.
Yeah, look, I think HellRaisers could have actually had more rounds in that first half. There was a gun round early on where they did everything right and were still unable to convert. So we're going to see how it plays out. They have heavy presence towards long. They're using the flashes to their favor. They've got everybody there. And Angel is just going to whiff a kill here. He's not actually going to make the kill onto Twist, who somehow recovers out of the flash, gets that kill. The trade comes in, but this is where Liquid comes out and they're able to grab another number advantage. Here's the whiff. He should have had this kill. That should have been done and dusted, and Long should have been locked down. At this point, we find ourselves in a 2v2 situation. deadfox playing to contain. I love it. In his rotation time here, as the clock slowly whittles down to about 15 seconds, rotates to play so that both Issa and deadfox are covering the cross. You can see it in right here. There's about 10 seconds now as both of these players from Liquid have to cross. They're able to take the duels, isolate deadfox, and then Issa's aim, you can see the nerves here, was super shaky, and NAF closes it out. Yeah. So they did everything right. They played the situation correctly. They just weren't able to execute the headshots. And
now, will they be able to execute the third map? Conversation is in order here, Bjorn, albeit quickly. Cash, our final map. HellRaisers, a lot of doubt was here in Wembley for what they could do. Dust2 does seem to have ignited some of it. Cash, what do you think?
Well, Liquid is up. I think they have a 100% win rate in the past 3 months. They only played it 3 or 4 times. So it's not their home map, but they're still really good on it. And the same goes with HellRaisers. So this is a map where both teams are comfortable, which is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be very key, once again, for Liquid to play more aggressive and more fluid on their CT side.
Yeah, they really roll off that momentum. The problem is, Issa against Fnatic was able to drop an absolute beast mode performance. He was just let off the hook, just going crazy. They beat them 16-2. So this confidence and that loud presence we're hearing from that HellRaisers booth, if that carries through here, they can start on the T side potentially. That momentum could be too much for this Liquid shaky roster to handle.
And love it or hate it, there is so much fire in that booth, quite contrasting to that of Liquid, where it kind of comes from Taco, it comes from Zeus, it comes from the Brazilian fire, and everything else is rather quiet. I mean, Woxic, he looks like he's just lost the World Cup every time he dies, and he also looks like he's about to lift the major trophy every time they pick up a round.
I was just going to say, that can actually backfire as well. Yeah. We talked about the pistol round on Dust2, where they lost at 1v3 versus Nafly. If Bondic didn't clutch that round afterwards, they would have just crumbled. There's no way they're getting back into that game.
I think they've proven, though, that they can play on the stage now, right? That's a big victory to take. And Liquid here are showing me signs of weakness. This isn't something that I saw coming in against an opponent like HellRaisers. Still smiles on the faces, as you can see. Nitro in the middle there. He didn't have a fantastic game, but I think, this is rolling the years back. We're looking at like 2015, where he used to love this map. So there is a chance that the North American style of just really brawly, really open Counter-Strike can come into play, because when they were playing Mirage early, it was just an aim map. You could see that from Twist and Elige going around just popping heads everywhere, and Case plays very similarly to that map.
So with that said, our predictions for Liquid, you're still comfortable with your prediction. You said they're taking the major, but you've identified that they're not the same team that put a performance of a lifetime against Astralis.
It doesn't feel like they've done the same level of preparation to exploit opponents' tendencies as what they did for Astralis earlier in the tournament, and that is showing as a bit of a weakness here.
All right, well, it is crunch time. Our third map of the quarterfinals. This is where Liquid's biggest test yet continues. HellRaisers versus Liquid. It's essentially a best of one. It's sink or swim. One of these teams will be going home and watching from the crowd into the semi-finals. The others will be locked in and ready for a semi-final to remember. Let's jump in with your casters. It's Henry G and Vince.
Thank you very much indeed. The third and final map of this series. We are going to have the beautiful London crowd behind us. Vince, you enjoying yourself so far?
It's been awesome, man. Absolutely awesome. And I can't wait to see what Cash has in store. That's the first map Liquid have dropped at this major.
That's a very good point, actually, and they looked very flat. That's the kind of Liquid I don't like seeing. We see it a little bit too often for me to consider them in the conversation right now to be a top 3 tier. I feel like, yes, they definitely have the skill ceiling there, but I find them a little bit too inconsistent and streaky at points where they get into those ruts, they can't seem to dig themselves out of it. That's a massive issue for me with this team in general, but it is Cash. That's North American home territory. Famously, over the years, they've always played very well on this particular map. I'm excited to see who starts popping off, because Voxic there, Issa there, Bondic especially was actually top fragging. It was epic, I have to say, Vince. And speaking of which, check out epics.gg. It is a card collecting service where you can collect all your pros, all the players on the screens right now, and trade them, sell them, do whatever you need to do, Vince. I'm sure you'll be checking it out after this. That's epics.gg, and you can get it on your phone as well with the relevant app stores. Check that out, it's a lot of fun. All the pros are signed up, and there you go. Check it out. You convinced by that, Vince?
I am. That was an excellent plug.
Yeah? Oh, well, there we go. I'm quite good at this now. It's been 5 years in the making. Finally, we're starting to look a little bit professional. Either way, is Liquid warming up. I can confirm they'll be starting on the T side. It's going to be HellRaisers, of course, on the CT side. Pistol's going to be in everything. Remember, in the second half of Dust 2, Liquid won the pistol and nothing else. Yep. If they converted that 3-0, I dare say this would already be over. But they couldn't do it. It was a tenacious force buy coming in from HellRaisers with 1 AK, actually 2 AKs and a scout, I think it was, to clinch the round. So there we have it. Cash is another high-fragging, high-paced affair. It's similar to Dust 2, can play off spawns, don't even have to do strategies if you don't want to, you can run around as a pack of wolves, finding kills. But ladies and gentlemen, here we go! The third and final map, who will come out on top and reach the semi-finals? Team Liquid, or the plucky HellRaisers, who have seemed to have a resurgence after the second map. Bondic especially, lighting the scoreboard ablaze. And we'll see what kind of buy we have to bring to the table here. Naf, he's got the Glock armor combo. Actually, he's got the Molotov. He's going to be deploying that towards the forklift. They're going for the A commitment here. It's Issa to defend. The flashbangs are decent. Angel has to reposition. But can he find the first frag? Certainly can. It's Bondic that chimes in to help out.
2 separate angles for him to watch out for. That elevation cost him dearly, but HellRaisers, although they have conceded the bomb, they have the player advantage. They still have a kit and a flash, albeit in a very weakened Bondic hands. He only has 2 HP left. Nafly instantly alleviating some of the pressure, but it's been stacked back on again as Nitro's done a lot of damage to Dead Fox, picks up the frag. It's now looking good for not just Nitro, but Liquid too. And there comes the final kill of the pistol. Starting off Cash, starting off this third map with a vengeance.
Brilliant stuff there from Nitro. Remember, couldn't get a single gun round in the second half of Dust 2. That's going to put their best foot forward here on Cash. North American teams historically, especially Majors, have always been very good on this particular one, but there's been a lot of heartbreak as well when it comes down to overtimes and games that have been quote-unquote thrown with big leads, and Nitro and co are certainly aware of the prospect of a throw. This is the sort of team that can crumble at times.
Henry, we actually have a deco. It's been a while.
A full deco. So Desert Eagles across the board. No armor, no nades. Just going for those one taps. It's a map that lends itself to it. It's got plenty of range if you play it correctly. Don't need the armor necessarily. You're going for one shot headshots here. And these players on HellRaisers are certainly capable of delivering them.
It's very much a dry purchase, though, from HellRaisers. No utility to supplement these kills. Angel doesn't need utility. He's got aim on his side. Elige gets destroyed, dismantled through an A main. The Molotovs are at least going to keep the CTs on the truck side of the site, which allows Liquid to charge in with their SMGs and AKs. And a bomb plant will be following. There's nothing that Issa can do about it, or is there? He's got himself 1 kill. He's at least put it in the realms of possibility. Now Bondic's going to get destroyed by Nafly on the side. And 4K in the round for him. Solid work in the end by Liquid, although it did look a bit shaky.
They managed to get the 2-0 on the T side, Vince. That's all they care about. That's what they went for. It works out, and they'll be up against a full eco here. 3-0 pretty much locked in. There's Zeus behind them. One of the most decorated coaches we have in the entirety of CSGO. 2 majors under his belt. With the SK boys, now known as MIBR. They're already in the semi-finals. Can Zeus make it there as well? We'll see the CZs come out. The benefit of not force buying completing that second round. You can flirt with the pistols and a little bit on the third as well. You can see Angel does significant damage towards Naf with a CZ headshot, but the kills coming in thick and fast now. And it's looking like quite the comfortable round for Team Liquid. It's a T-sided map, one of the only, I would say, we really have in the pool that's considered a T-sided cache. But let's see whether Elite can convert these kills. Brilliant spray control there. You could see how hard he had to work to make sure those kills were his. Taco, okay. Seems to know. Someone's on the other side of the door, didn't even knock. Takes him down, and it's just Dead Fox now. Stuck in the connector, and now with 0 health. Good stuff from Liquid, didn't give too much away in the last few rounds. They have got a bit of a bonus round prospect coming up, Vince, meaning there's 2 SMGs here. Not the most run and gun style SMGs. The UMPs aren't as effective against the unarmored heads. Say the Mac 10, it can move very fast and be thrown into bomb sites and run and gun and jump around as well. But the UMP still has its place in these particular rounds, and we'll see who's going to be suffering without the helmets here. HellRaisers now with Bondic with no helmets, Voxic, full glass cannon AWP, meaning he's very vulnerable. And I'd assume Team Liquid are going for an A-sided attack here. 2 players towards the connector at the very start. Needs to push off any aggression. Nafly takes down Voxic. Remember, he had no armor there. He shouldn't really be challenging those really tight choke points like that. As soon as one bullet touches him, it's what we call aim punch. It means his crosser will fly up in the air. But Dead Fox, that's audacious as well, taking a lot of damage down to 14. Going for the Hail Mary play here. This is absolutely chaotic. And it will be Naf to find the second kill for Team Liquid here. HellRaisers starting to fall apart a little bit of the seams there. Dead Fox with low HP just wanted 1 kill, then hopefully falls back to the side, but that was ambitious.
I can understand trying to take control of the situation, but that was insanity. Both players dead on B. The round isn't quite over just yet, but you can see the HellRaisers already stacked in spawn. Bomb's not even planted, it's going over to A side. So their intentions have been made clear. It's going to be a save, and it will be Liquid on a 4-0 lead. As they force their way now onto A, realizing that it's open, completely available for a free plant. There's a lot of equipment value though for HellRaisers. Understandable they'd go for the save, but that is going to be an issue because Voxic now probably won't get another AWP for quite some time.
Yes.
And all we've really seen from him so far is to go for a peek and get destroyed. I think it was Nafly, right, from Toxic Barrels. Just wrecked him without any sweat at all.
Yeah, if you don't have armor, especially with an AWP, if you don't nail that first shot and you take a split second and AK bullets come in your direction, you really can't do anything about it. You should primarily be holding a very passive angle if you don't have that armor. But obviously, these AWPers want to go for it. They can hit these shots if required. And you can see it wasn't an amazing headshot from Naf. He sprays in his general direction, and even a couple of bullets against no armor is going to take them down, regardless of the location of the shots. Naf feeling confident now, 4-0. HellRaisers don't really save much at all from the previous round. Have to be CZs across the board once again as they home in on maximum loss bonus. 3 CZs, a Desert Eagle for Voxic, and Bondic with the P250. Angel spends a little bit more cash with the armor. Same story for Issa. These rounds are normally the ones that work out, the ones you least suspect. That CZ still...
There it is.
There it is, yeah, absolutely. You don't really preempt them rushing towards the door with CZ. You're sure, you're prepared and held up for it, but all of a sudden it starts to fall apart. It's exactly what I was building up, Vince. I'm glad it transpired in this way because if you blink, you'll miss it sometimes. The CZ and Deagle combo can be very deadly and difficult to hold up.
And to make matters worse, Issa has the AK in his hands and he's got Kevlar behind it. HellRaisers, this could be a branch to grab onto, and they're going to do it in style. Not only do they win the round, they do so without losing a single player and pick up 4 AKs for themselves. That is a huge boost to their economy.
That is fantastic from HellRaisers. Like I said, all of a sudden it falls apart. Taco arguably could have been more defensive there at the start of the round, knowing it was pistols, but great play from HellRaisers. Can't take anything away from here. Nice boost, good little push as well towards Squeaky Door, and then aggressive play with the AK-47 that was retrieved from the fallen terrorists. Naf with plenty of cash. He seems to be AWPing more than Nitro in the last few rounds. He'll use that good spawn and head towards middle. Does beat the smoke, but no one there to receive his shots. Flashbangs towards middle from the CTs. They try and reclaim territory here. They've lost a bit of vision, but Dead Fox will remove a lead. But it's back and forth we go. Twists equals things to a 4-4.
He's had a bit of a quiet best of 3, but if he starts to wake up, Liquid could be in trouble. Headshot delivered first class. Taco trying to be a nuisance. play interference for the rest of his team to make a move through mid and B. The bomb is actually dropped down in a pretty awkward position on mid, but Nafly is going to alleviate some of that pressure. 2 kills in the matter of a millisecond for HellRaisers. And the tables turn quickly. Issa gets his second of the round. Excellent work.
4-2. HellRaisers break the finances of Liquid. It was looking like a very one-sided affair, but all of a sudden, Liquid are broke. It's Issa landing some fantastic headshots with that saved AK. Angel with the wallbang, of course. And here we go, finishing things off. The star player looking sharp once again. We'll get into round 7 here. Remember, it was Twist that significantly dropped off on Dust 2. Didn't really say his name at all. He'll be now with the CZ and helmet combo. Surprising. He invests that much cash, but still has $3,100 residual, so that's fine. Dead Fox now ready and waiting for the approach towards B, but Voxic might beat him to the punch. Got himself stuck in a corner, though. Needs to be very careful against these pistols. They don't punish the fact he missed a shot there, and now it's up to Dead Fox. He's having a lot of fun with the M4A4 right now. He will go down eventually. This is not necessarily winnable, especially with the wallbang being successful there for the CTs, but Twist certainly capable of getting a couple more kills.
It is keeping HellRaisers' accountant honest, though, here, because he's doing quite a bit of damage, and it could get a lot worse. Bondic on the receiving end of the M4A4 headshot. It's the only reason he's still alive. It wasn't the AK. And speaking of the AK, there is Issa again. However, those 2 lost weapons, it is going to start to feel a bit of a sting for HellRaisers if they concede this round.
3 in a row, though. Liquid no AWP this time. It's looking like they were going to run away with this half, but the HellRaisers certainly put their foot down now. Round 8 coming in, the 3rd and final map. We've got a hell of a game for you after this one as well. FaZe versus Astralis.
That's the main course,
isn't it?
Match of
the day, yes, that really is. This has been the English breakfast, I think, with you coming in, kind of filling in for the UK absence. And yes, we definitely got the main course coming up next. But for now, Issa incendiary towards the box to flush anyone out on the other side. No one there to receive, but still lots of information and map control gathered by HellRaisers. You can see them firing off. The smokes are down. Taco takes a little bit of damage there. He's in towards that squeaky door. Doesn't offer any in return. Dead Fox in a nice little angle here to protect the boost position.
Oh, Lee's jumping. Raw reaction's going to cost him his life. At least Nafly's there to return the favor. However, he has been tagged down significantly. He's going to have to use that smoke to extinguish the Molotovs. Vital utility. And he's going to get spammed up through the smoke too. They knew he was on the left-hand side from the CT's perspective. Issa gets smoked out too. He needs some help. And he has a player just behind him. Taco will get the upper hand. Angel with 1, but that's all that he will get out of this round. 2-on-2 post-plant scenario. And make it all on Voxic. We know this guy can stand and bang with the AWP. But he's deciding to go for the M4 instead. Definitely just saw the head of Nitro as he was on the other side of the box. It's all about that second player, though. Voxic has no idea. Really trying to draw out some fire, see if he can get some information from sound cues.
Oh, he almost got the kill there, Vince. It's coming down to the wire now. Time ticking away. Voxic, of course, does have the kit, but no time to work with here. Great attempt. Kept it expensive. But it will be Liquid extending the lead 5-3 now, as Twist will survive, the only player to do so. He takes the AWP into round number 9 here. There's still tons of cash for the CTs. They can even bring out a double AWP setup if they want to. They have been doing that quite consistently. It's normally Dead Fox and Voxic, of course, who will be wielding that particular setup, but it doesn't look like it'll be brought out just yet. Sticking with the M4s here as they adjust thereby. It's a UMP for NAF. So money not exactly amazing there. Even after winning the previous round, they have to make some compromises still. Smokes towards the B entrance, and Bondic now to defend with the M4. Molotov towards Checkers. Angel actually playing aggressively in the B storage area. Won't have anything to challenge just yet because Twist has fallen back. Voxic in the squeaky door of an AWP. Now that's an audacious angle, but he can fall back with the door open. Probably wants to shut it behind him indeed, and falls back towards the A site.
Yeah, it's important that he had Issa there to help him out. Watching A main. Otherwise, he could have got caught on the cross. Nitro does have an AWP in his hands, though. It has been back and forth between himself and Nafly. He had very sketchy, sporadic dust too, but ended strong with the AWP, was landing some nice flicks. Issa in the meanwhile is going to get mollied out of his position on forklift. Can he get any kills? Yes, he can. One, and a whole bunch of damage in that fly. And that could put some foundations down for HellRaisers to build off, but those foundations are crumbling somewhat. Bondik is at least going to counteract with a Molotov, but Bondik walks out into the open just for Nitro to pluck out. Another 2-on-2 retake.
Yeah, it's looking difficult as well. Angel and Dead Fox segregated from the bomb site by the really efficient smokes thrown by Team Liquid. Nitro misses out another orb shot here, but Alige looks clinical with the AK-47. The lineup comes in, but Dead Fox can't convert it. We go 6-3, and money starting to dwindle now for the HellRaisers. Liquid with a firm lead. And maybe this is the first tactical timeout from HellRaisers now. Need to consider their options. I don't think they can really justify the buy here. Nitro looking very good at those few shots missed. The one just before that, but still 3 kills in the round. Looking much better with the orb itself. So, Deagles, P250s, not really much to report here for HellRaisers. No armor, no defuse kits, no nades more importantly. So it should be 7-3 here for Team Liquid. Bit of a rough spell in the mid stages, but now they've stabilized. Starting to rack up money after this round. The money's not great right now, but they get presumably 32.50 for winning this one. If the bomb goes off, it's 3,500. As the Molotovs are deployed. Even against these sort of rounds where you know you're up against just default pistols, Vince, you want to be making sure you use the Molotovs, you use the smokes. Sure, it might seem like a waste of money, but you'll feel even worse if you go down to a CZ at close range just because you didn't flush it out and you face check it instead.
Absolutely, especially considering 3 of their players are under $1,000. They can't afford to lose weapons.
Exactly. So you can see them being very efficient here, using all those grenades and making sure nothing is given away.
Oh, twist through the smoke. Perforating Angel. Bondik, last man standing, but only 24 health separates him and indeed HellRaisers from a 7-3 deficit, and that has came up. HellRaisers will have a bye. What's also worrying for me, Henry, is that these rounds were off the back, of course, of that very poor buy that HellRaisers had, the pistols by and large. So other than that, it's been pretty smooth sailing for Liquid. That slight blip on the radar of 3 consecutive rounds has now been completely neutered.
It really has. Tactical timeout now, the first used by HellRaisers. Tournament life on the line. After Dust 2, they seemed like they were up for it. They were ready to go into the third. There's another high fragging affair on Cash. They've had some great gun rounds so far, but after going 4-0 down in the opening sectors of the first half, they get 3 and now lost 3. Money starting to get to a more comfortable position, but still not ideal. Dead Fox contemplating the second orb once again. He's got $5,000, doesn't look like he'll go for it. Sticks on the M4A4. Top fraggers so far. Naflies 15-7 after 10 rounds. And the top 4 HellRaisers, Dead Fox and Bondik, both on 8 kills. There we have it, Naf with another amazing performance.
Nice smoke from Voxic allows him to go for the peak and also extinguish any Molotov. He has struggled with being too aggressive after the first pick, though. So it's good to see him just back away, hold the angle again. Doesn't need to chase the kills. He's put his team in a good position. Nafline's going to get double peaked, and he's going to get 1 in a second. Oh, there was also some team damage done from Angel onto Issa.
Oh my God.
Not for the first time in this best of 3, HellRaisers their own worst enemies. And now Voxic and Dead Fox in a position to just save on the B side of the map.
They have to now, unless Voxic does something absolutely magical at this point in the AWP. They've got almost no chance of winning this round. It's a decent plant for Team Liquid. And it's all down to Naf once again. Now set on 17 kills, as Alige hit a wondrous shot towards the CT truck, and it was all done. After losing Nitro initially, you thought the HellRaisers had this one in the bag. It was Voxic that opened things up with that AWP shot towards B, but that was just a cue to get away from him. He is the danger man of HellRaisers, and if you can get to the other side of the map quickly and leave him to his own devices towards B, why not? Get stuck in towards that A side. Nafly catches 2 of them pushing, and at that point, it was all done. HellRaisers now homing in on maximum loss bonus. This will be the 4th. They do save 2 players, so we'll see the AWP in the hands of Voxic and Dead Fox the M4. They've got $3,000 between them to save and to drop for the next round. I think they'll force this. If I'm honest, they desperately need some rounds on the board now. But time will tell.
This was the moment when Nafly got himself a double. Had that gone the other way, the round very much Well, very well, I should say. Could have gone back in favor of HellRaisers, but as it stands, they're on the brink. A very poor buy. Voxic and Dead Fox have a couple of CZs alongside them. Some armors purchased too. Liquid. This is very reminiscent of how the first map started, Henry. A great T-half for Mirage. HellRaisers could never really get back into it. They're always far too much behind. Dead Fox is going to get one, but traded out, and that's one of the two weapons they had in play that's gone with him. Voxic with the other one has 4 angry terrorists to contend with.
Voxic really does have limited options here. He'll be holding the AWP towards B storage. The bomb is down in a compromised position. That's why they dropped that smoke. It could have got a bit awkward there with being available in the mid-warehouse, but they smoke it effectively, not giving anything away there. That could have been a costly mistake if he was waiting with the bomb. But Voxic now has to hold on to the AWP as it makes its way towards A. The bomb will be planted momentarily. It's a guaranteed round for Team Liquid. Elige spamming some bullets off towards CT spawn, and Voxic is actually still moving, trying to find the safest possible position here. Bomb finally planted in the most open position they can find.
I think the thing
They're
is
just hunting him, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. There's 35 seconds left, so Liquid don't need to go for the plant. What they do need to do is get that AWP away from Voxic in the next round. They may even be able to buy another one, but this is going to mean he's going to have a lack of utility. He's going to be hamstrung elsewhere. So you can understand the plays, but now they decide, screw it, let's just go for the plant. Voxic should be able to save this, although it does seem like Nafly is making a move towards him. But Liquid will take a 6-round lead in the all-important third map of this quarterfinals at the Major. It's looking like it may be a bridge too far for HellRaisers. Voxic is about to get tested. He will pass with flying colors, but there's going to be more players pushing his angles right now, and he's going to get taken down by Twists. Again, he can go for another AWP, but they'd have loved to have kept that alive a little bit longer.
He could have dropped significantly in future rounds, but they're still on about 5k per player. It's not the end of the world. He can certainly buy. He's got 6,300, but yes, that would have been absolutely brilliant if he could stay alive. Nice work from Liquid there. We pointed out, it looked like they're having a bit of fun planting the bomb, but they're considering where would he be? Where's he going to be hiding? Let's give ourselves enough time to hunt him down, and it works out. So you can't argue with that at all. They lose a player in response, but it's round number 13, Vince. The amount of cash that is built up for Liquid, they're good to go for the rest of this half now. Twists, even after a reinvestment of grenades, 5 digits. Elige not far off it, so they are absolutely fine in that department. But HellRaisers, they're really not in the fragging game, because although Angel, about to say, has a lot of frags, it's the same issue that got me before. Angel's currently sat on 5 and 9. Dead Fox of 8. No one breaking double digits yet on the HellRaisers side. It's Naf with 19, Elige with 10, who are really flying the flag high for Team Liquid here.
Naf has been phenomenal so far on Cash.
He really has.
19 kills already, and there's still a few rounds to go. Voxic being toyed with. 2 separate angles. You can see he really wants to get this kill. He's desperate to leave some impact, to leave a mark on this round. But will that get him killed? As it has in a couple of rounds prior. Dead Fox perched up into the vents, waiting to get that green light to go aggressive. Liquid taking their sweet time, but they are all bundled over on B. No one pincering on A. It's going to be all hell breaking loose with grenades. They're going to line up for Dead Fox. He's going to get 2, nearly got a 3rd. Nafly's been severely wrecked down to 41. Molotov could force Nitro out of position. He doesn't have to move off the site, though. This is going to be another very tough retake.
It really is. They have not got a kit, Vince. 3 M4s, though. Angel coming towards the vents. It's up to Twist now. Actually, like this position from him. No one's going to be checking this. He's looking for headshots. And he's certainly capable of delivering. Incendiary in towards his position makes things a little bit more uncomfortable now. The retake begins. Who's going to come out on top? So far, so good for Naf. It is traded out, but there's Twist and Nitro striking at the exact same time. The trifecta of doom set up on the B bomb side there, and every facet of the bomb site completely under control by Team Liquid. That's a huge round for them to pick up. Just as money was stabilizing for HellRaisers there, and Twist gets it done. Spinning around on the bomb side there, closes things out. Really great stuff there in the retake, as HellRaisers now have to buy Vince. They need these last couple of rounds, reminiscent of what we saw in Mirage. Very similar situation.
And to be fair on Mirage, they did mount a comeback when they were on the T side, so yes. I'm hoping for more of that from the neutrals perspective. But yeah, it has been a bit of a whimper of a performance here on Cash so far, with Liquid just stepping it up a couple of notches. HellRaisers can't really keep the pace up. And it's mainly down to this man on your screen. Well, the one prior, Nafly. Twists definitely did plenty on Mirage. Elige has been a consistent thorn in the backside of HellRaisers. That Molotov is going to force them out into the open, but be careful what you wish for. Dead Fox is going to pounce with a kill of his own. He's been performing pretty damn good with this M4. FAMAS also going to chime in for a frag, and Voxic's able to scamper away to safety. And that's going to give Liquid pause for thought. Not too much nades left though for HellRaisers, with over a minute to play with. No smokes, no Molotovs.
Much better from HellRaisers. Great start here. Two of the key names to Liquid going down. But there's one important name that's still alive. That's Naf. Currently on 20 kills, looking to find a couple more here. 5 versus 3. HellRaisers not probing for any more information. Just holding up in the crossfires. That's the correct thing to do. A split coming in very shortly. Door main entrance, and Twists coming in with that AK-47. Molotovs deployed. Flashbangs now as well. Smoke towards short, but it's going to be Angel confirming the round by the looks of things now. Twists has got a lot of work to do in the 1 versus 5. We'll see what he can find, but not much at all. It will be the 4th round on the board there for HellRaisers. We're going to round number 15. Liquid have plenty of cash, but I'd say HellRaisers need this to stand a chance in that second half, because we know, although they are very good on their T sides, you need a buffer to be able to at least afford a pistol loss here. If you go down 11-4, lose a pistol, that's pretty much a death sentence.
Certainly is. With this round plus the pistol, though, game would be well and truly back on, and HellRaisers will know it.
Yeah, especially on that T side. Like we said, HellRaisers are normally very good on their T sides, and it's a T-sided map. Angel and co just missed the run boost towards the Shroud position, so they've had to readjust. And they were going for the boost from that red box over towards the corner there, but it didn't work out for them. They fumbled it, and now will compromise set up Angel on top of the bomb site.
That could be significant too, Henry. They haven't used that position yet.
Yeah, you want to use it like once a half.
Yeah.
Like, it's commonly overlooked and a position that can yield a lot of kills. Molotov towards the vents just to push any CTs back. Smoke now for Angel as he actually repositions, and it's going to cost him a smoke, but they are going to boost up there once again.
There's the boost. Still plenty of nades across the board. Elige tossing the smoke over towards Highway, trying to block the vision, as you can see now. It's looking like a set play. It's going to keep some of the CTs interested, but Bondic goes out once again and salvages a glimmer of hope into the round, and finishing this half at 10-5 with a kill. Dead Fox lurking around the shadows, but Nitro eviscerates him. Elige also getting himself in the thick of it. They're going to line up for Voxic, and he sprays them down. The bomb's also sprawled out just below him. The worst case scenario has become a reality, as Taco has to clutch a 1 and 2 with 20 seconds left. His position is compromised. Voxic is playing his sweet time, waiting for Issa to get on the scene, but he's not required. Voxic will do it alone. 10-5.
Voxic a lot quieter in that half. That's only his 11th kill with a 3K at the very end. Couldn't get going at the AWP, but he does find them the last round there. 10-5, definitely still possible here in the packed Wembley Arena. The crowd have been fantastic so far. We still got the main event coming up as well. FaZe versus Astralis after this game, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you don't miss out on this one. But for now, Liquid 10, HellRaisers 5. And we'll have a look at the buys coming forward. They are going to be purchasing the P250s. Maybe a couple of them, we'll see. Molotovs will be coming out as well, the smokes, as the coach from HellRaisers there trying to rile up the troops, get them ready to go. Angel still believes, they know on their T-side, they get this pistol, they still have a fighting chance there. It's all up in the air. Liquid struggle to close out games, and we'll see whether HellRaisers can put their best foot forward here in the opening round of the second half. It will be looking likely to be an A-sided attack, but that all can change, and it's actually an A retake setup from Liquid. No one on the A side at all. Just twist way back in the CT truck. That leads towards short, almost allowing them to have a bomb site control if the smoke comes in.
Nitro waiting to pull the pin. And throw on a flashbang, not required. Did get plenty of information though, and they've heard the vents popping. It's a safety net for the B site. As soon as you hear both vents pop, you know the B site's about to get rocked. And Nafly is going to do his best to stand tall and deliver some headshots. Taco and Nafly are going to be landing all the headshots. Nafly with 3 in a row. And HellRaisers will not be getting the second pistol. Phenomenal performance by Nafly, continues to shine.
Completely shuts them down there, Vince. Really impressed with his performance so far. He is looking like he's in championship form at this stage. Oh my goodness, he's just so crisp and calm. Naf just continues to find kills left, right, and center. 23 kills, 11 deaths, and HellRaisers now with no bomb plant down. They don't force buy even on their T side second round. That's just an interesting note there. So no armor. Once again, it's a full deco. Deagles across the board, saving a bit of cash. Hoping to get a bomb down here, and then maybe buy early once more. We'll see if that comes true.
Some negligible damage distributed to Bondic. Picking shrapnel out of his shins. Angel, though, has been laid to rest. Twits the executioner. Liquid in prime position now to move through to the semi-finals. We spoke about how important the second pistol was. If HellRaisers could pull a rabbit out the hat right now, it would do them the world of good, but Twist is not allowing it. Single-handedly picked up these opening 2 kills. Voxic's also very low. HellRaisers surely with no hope in this round at the very least. Liege, that's a perfectly timed flashbang. And the curtain is coming down. Denfox, though, is going to keep it away for a little bit longer.
1 kill, Vince, but we need a few more of those. Bondic will find the FAMAS at least, but he quickly finds a bullet in the head as well. It's wanted to go down. That was not the force buy, remember. They would have liked to get the bomb plant ideally with the investment of the Deagles, but 13-5 is looking very likely at this point. I don't see any other way about it. They can't really justify much investment here either. And they will be looking likely to be the full eco. Bondic and co starting to lose faith. They're going to need something fantastic coming out in the first gun round here. A really convincing round required going forward just to kind of get their heads back in the game. So right now, Team Liquid looking like they may have booked themselves a place in the semi-finals. Shots exchanged towards the B storage area there. Issa investing with the CZ. Angel with a little bit of utility here. And Dead Fox with the Desert Eagle. 3 players towards the squeaky door. They'll flash through, but Twist can hear them all coming. They've actually flashed themselves. And Twist will have players blind in front of him for days. 3 kills to his name. Elise with the 4th. And it's another clean sweep for Liquid there. Their money begins to swell. They're in touching distance now of the semi-finals. HellRaisers with all to play for. No mistakes can be made at this point. We said that T side is good, but can it be fantastic?
Anything less would not be good enough, Henry. Voxic has a decision to make. $5,450. Could afford the AWP. It does mean no Kevlar, and he decides against it. Full AKs in play for HellRaisers. It could suggest a fast play is imminent. A set play maybe onto A site. They're already scampering into A main and Squeaky respectively. Lining up the smokes to try and blot out the car position. There is a counteractive smoke deployed by Team Liquid just to stop that initial charge. Also getting into position. They've got 3 players strong on A. Seem to have read the script and know what's coming up, and there's going to be a push through. Wow. Issa had a flashbang out. The timing could not be worse for HellRaisers, and now they're just all pushing out one by one. and being chopped to pieces.
Nitro's done an amazing job there. He jumps through the squeaky door with an MP9. He upgrades to the AK-47. He becomes a walking turret at that point. They run in towards him. He hits every single shot, and it leaves us with a 4 versus 1. Angel surely has nothing to say about this situation. 14 rounds has got to be guaranteed at this point. Nitro taking the game by the horns. Angel will get 1. But can he get anything more? I doubt it. Failed Molotov designed to go in towards the main entrance there. 45 seconds, has got the bomb, and looking likely to commit towards the A site as he edges closer and closer, but it's going to take something remarkable, and Nitro finds his 4th frag. That was the bonus round of Team Liquid there, Vince. After winning the pistol and successfully converting to a 3-0, they go for an aggressive push with their residual SMGs, the FAMASs. They want to go for a quick round. It's textbook gritty, but look at this play from Nitro. The 360 to take down the first, gets the AK and starts decimating his opponents in front of him. Absolutely fantastic from Nitro as he takes full control. 2 more rounds will do it.
Such a sick counter strat too.
Yes, exactly. That's what the bonus rounds
neutralized.
are so good at. If you can surprise them just when they get into their default, they're expecting a nice slow process and no challenges. You throw it in there like that really does ruffle some feathers, because then all of a sudden you're really scared and tentative. You might use more utility going forward just to make sure that doesn't happen. It can rattle your opponents with those sort of aggressive plays, especially one as successful as that.
It's Twist's turn to get boosted up onto A in the Shroud spot. It doesn't bode well for HellRaisers. They do have 4 smokes to play with and a couple of flashbangs. Gonna have to be pixel perfect plays. They're going for the cross smokes in mid. An idea to completely neutralize any vision that the CTs have over the mid vents. But Unleash comes in with the first kill. And the pressure mounts once again. If Liquid were to win this, it'd have 10 match points. And it's looking more and more likely as every second goes by. Twist with 2, Nitro with 2 of his own. Liquid flawless, HellRaisers struggling.
15-5. 1 more will do it for Liquid. It's hard to imagine a world where HellRaisers will get 10 clean rounds in a row now, Vince, and then win the overtime. This is the 3rd and final map if you're just joining us. Mirage was difficult for HellRaisers to digest. Dust 2 was brilliant. A return to form, fantastic scenes. But Cash, they seem to have fallen flat once again. Nothing working out for them. The second half, they haven't picked up a single round. They're 5-0 down. And now 1 more mistake will cost them the tournament. Coach trying to rile them up the best he can. Of course, a tactical timeout deployed at this point. But what have they even got? Does Voxic have the AWP? He's contemplating buying it. Had enough cash for it, opted to the AK instead. 10 in a row. Dead Fox will be buying in the last few seconds here. Brings out the AK. Liquid, surely, close it out here.
The way they've been playing on the CT side, you certainly would think so. I think even HellRaisers may feel like they've been defeated in that flight. Twisting the knife in the side. Fast A main push. Yields the kill into Angel. His woes continue. Only 9 kills so far on Cash for him. Issa on 8. These are the players that you're wanting to see at the forefront of these pushes. Having no impact, and again, they're going to go for the boost. Cheeky stuff by Liquid, but because they've got the first pick, they know if HellRaisers push out on A main, there's going to be one angle that they can have a blind spot. If they don't check boost, it's all over.
Here we go. The crowd can feel we're coming to the absolute crescendo now. Liquid need 4 more kills and that will be enough. A lot of people are saying they can go on and win the whole thing. This has been a strong performance with a little blimp in the middle, but for now they can finish on a high. Unleash, great position to find the frag, but Issa beats him to the punch. Good boost here from Nitro, an uncommon spot. 35 seconds, it looks like it has to be the B split here. Nitro and Taco to close it all out. And here we go, the final push from HellRaisers now.
30 seconds left, they're gonna have to get entries in very quickly. Nades are being deployed to counteract the push, but it's gonna be Nitro that's first to fall. Can Taco hold the line? Can he stay this execution onto B? The answer, a resounding no. And HellRaisers, they will live to fight another day. Twists 1-on-4. The guy is an absolute monster, but even by his standards, this surely a bridge too far. Does get the first, but it's a great cost to his health. Down to 19, make it 0. 9 more match points for Liquid.
Amazing. HellRaisers now start their very, very long and arduous journey towards overtime. Nice speed split coming in here. Resist up, managed to take down Unleash initially. That was the start of the victory. And you can see doing a great job there, working effectively. They're not giving up just yet. Plenty of cash, of course, for Team Liquid as they look to finish things off once again. They've got one more buy still in the bank, even if they lose this round. So still difficult to imagine a world where HellRaisers can bring this back. But these are the rounds where you start losing your flair a little bit if you are on the winning side, because sure, you might have a huge buffer here, but then you start playing, okay, let's not give anything away. No one do anything stupid. Let's just hold up. And at that point, HellRaisers can start abusing that fact and knowing you're going to be very passive. As Angel will take down the boosted player. That's Nitro trying to get up or boost his teammate up, and then down he goes. An early 5-on-4 now for HellRaisers.
Looking to fight aggression with aggression, though, in mid. Decides better of it, does Unleash. Retreating to the A site, joining Nafly and Twists. Taco does have a very forward position, though. He's currently in Sunroom. This could be an issue. If HellRaisers decide to go for another B split, that could be the main man. In fact, my eyes are deceiving me. Even checkers. Not Sunroom. Regardless, FACEIT has got himself an entry onto A site. Nafly, the last line of defense, but now Unleash has put himself in amongst the pigeons as he gets himself 2. Can he go one better? If he does, then Taco can start to make a move from Car. They line up for Unleash, nearly gets the double, and now Taco's came in. A gust of wind is gathering. Liquid getting pushed along the finish line potentially from Taco. FACEIT is playing this perfectly though, ebbing around the side, and FACEIT will keep HellRaisers alive.
It seemed like that could be the moment once again, but Taco can't do it in 2 versus 1. Liquid now give up 2. Haven't got to the point of danger just yet as they have one more buy available, but slowly but surely, HellRaisers are making the scoreline more convincing once again. HellRaisers, of course, with the 4 buy here. And more mistakes can be made. FACEIT with a good spawn towards B, presumably will challenge. Taco will go for the AWP at the very last moment. Gives that to Nitro. There's a bit of a fumble in spawn area, so no one's actually be there to receive this first shot. Smoke will come in and block the vision of FACEIT. Does he fire the shot? Of course he does. But for now, no damage inflicted, and luckily no rush from HellRaisers because Team Liquid weren't ready for it.
Gonna draw out as many of those grenades as possible. Still, a fair amount, though, at Liquid's disposal. HellRaisers waiting, hoping that one of Liquid get a bit too antsy and go for a peek at Twists. He's too disciplined to make that mistake. He is on A alone for the time being. It's a heavy stack on the B side. Unleash, Nitro, and Taco all here in close proximity. Nade's starting to thunder through on mid. Molly's down to sandbags, quading off as many angles as possible. As HellRaisers look to try and stamp their authority over on the A side of the map now. An important trade goes against Liquid. Unleash needed to land that. Those are the kills he would have been getting earlier in this best of 3. 30 seconds. Time is scarce, but so are Liquid. They're down to just Nitro and Taco. Their funds will be beginning to deplete too.
Yes,
Taco
absolutely.
has been doing so much work on this A site in 1v2, 1v3s, but this time he just can't get anything to stick.
Liquid, an amazing first halves and closing out games really is 2 different worlds sometimes. They are still going to have an AWP going to the next round with the look to things here. But HellRaisers just pull them apart limb by limb there and manage to split towards the A site. And Nitro can't do much about this whatsoever. The money is finally broken as Nitro looks to save the AWP. Nice shot, takes down Dead Fox. But he's got players coming all around him. FACEIT Doesn't need to take the AWP out of his hands necessarily, but they've still got cash, and their money's actually not as strong on the T side as I thought. You need to be a little bit careful here. What a shot that is! Oh my God, FACEIT, this kid is fast. Unbelievable. Jumping up, trying to get a bit of intel there, and gets his head blown off. Here's Deadbolt opening things up here. Just kill by kill, you can see they're all individual interactions. Liquid certainly playing a very scared mentality right now. This is the shot that caught my eye. Goodbye. Nitro removed from the equation. Brilliant stuff. Has to be the eco now for Liquid. Surely this doesn't go overtime, Vince. Come on.
Crazy things have happened, Henry.
They have. This has been the FACEIT overtime major.
It has, yeah.
So maybe it could happen. I don't want to say it definitely won't, but it shouldn't have done. It was 15-5. That's a long way to go still.
I think we can all agree that Liquid are going to start to sweat if HellRaisers hit 10 rounds. Again, it's that double-digit mark. Liquid will start to feel them breathing down their necks.
We've actually had 35 overtimes in this major so far, Vince. Have you ever heard anything like it?
That's pretty nuts.
I'm sure we've got a couple more to be added as well to the tally as the tournament continues.
Stack on 8. Shouldn't yield too much. If Angel sees more than one player, I think it's going to stand to reason that HellRaisers may just push B. We know Liquid's economy's in the bin at this stage.
But we did say before, there's something about these sort of rounds that seems to find success. Now, saying that, there doesn't look to be anything that particularly interesting being presented by Team Liquid right now. They've got Deagles, PD-50s, but no armor, and just that one flashbang. It would take something unspeakable to occur for Liquid to pull this one off. Someone would have to get like a double Deagle headshot coming in, a CZ rush. When all the chaos is going on, it's for all to fall apart. If they had armor and a few grenades, maybe there'd be a stronger chance, but HellRaisers should have full control here.
This is where you want to see the Molotovs being tossed into the likes of Checkers to get rid of Taco's position.
Yeah, we spoke about that before. Even against the full ecos, you want to be using those grenades. They still have plenty of them, and that's why they can get a kill here. They're throwing this away. Taco helps himself the 2 frags. Where's the utility usage? And here we go. Liquid can close things out now. 3 versus 2. Due to the fact they did not use any of their grenades, Vince, this could be a disastrous finish for HellRaisers.
The worst possible end to the match if it goes the distance now. 13 seconds left. Bondic, FACEIT need to get it done. And the CTs know it. 6 seconds. FACEIT's dead, and Liquid have done it in one of the worst buys in his best of 3. What a collapse by HellRaisers.
That's just not good enough from them towards the end. They had to use those grenades, but you can't take anything away from the Liquid performance here on Cash. They dropped off on Dust 2, but the stars aligned for them in map number 3. Nafly with 24 frags, Twist with Resurgent on 23. They put on a clinic there on Cash, and they are looking deadly for that trophy right now. That last map sends out a stern message to the rest of the competitors still in the tournament, and they close it out in style as well. The full eco victory. I said it would have to take a huge mistake and a double deagle kill to kick things off. That's exactly what Taco finds. And there we have it. HellRaisers, sure, they probably weren't going to take it to overtime, but they could have got a lot closer than that. That was their round, and it all falls apart. A lot of fun, though, that best of 3, Vince. Thank you so much for coming. Can we spit out, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Vince, our special guest. I hope you had fun, Vince. Came in for a quick visit, but it was a lot of fun, and I hope you consider staying with us.
It's incredible, mate. Thank you very much. I was hoping that HellRaisers could bounce back, man. I feel gutted that they went out in such a way, and I think they'll be devastated that they couldn't at least take us to, like, 11, 12 rounds, something like that. But
I know.
Hey, they got to the last 8, right? They got to the playoffs.
We were gifted Dust 2, though. That was one hell of a map. That was a lot of fun, I have to say. We got the game we were looking for. It was a 2-1, pretty much as we said at the beginning of the match. Dust 2, that's where HellRaisers did their best work. I think FACEIT might be considered the best Dust 2 player in the game right now. It really is just an absolute beast on that one. But Liquid still looking deadly as a unit. I consider them, I think HellRaisers are actually almost nipping at the toes of Liquid when it comes to firepower. But as an overall unit, Liquid just seem a lot more polished. They're not relying on chaos and one individual just to go off on them. They have many different players that can actually go to a very, very high level. We saw Twist drop off in the midsection, but my God, did he have a good game to close things out.
Yeah, I think you can also say that Nafly a guy goes under the radar a little bit for Liquid from time to time. He was excellent on
amazing.
Cash.
Really enjoyed his performance today. He was consistent throughout the entire game. But speaking of which, Vince, that's the end of our time here today. We're going to leave it with Jason and Anders, but for now, it is going to be Freya down on the stage with the victors.
That is right, guys. I am joined by the winning side with Nitro and Elise. So, guys, how does it feel to have taken down HellRaisers and be heading to the semi-final?
It feels great. I mean, we've been working for this for the past couple weeks, and we're just one step closer to getting the trophy.
Now, you guys actually managed to beat HellRaisers back in the Challenger stage. How did this affect the team's preparations coming into this game?
Well, actually, I had previous prep coming into the match, but they definitely came with a better game plan than they did before in Inferno. It was a very hard match on Dust 2, and the last map was hard too on our RT side. So
I just want to go back to Mirage, your map pick, a map that you generally look really strong on. The first half was great, but HellRaisers managed to weasel their way back in. How did you manage just to close it out?
I think it was just really staying calm. Like, we had some bad comms some of the rounds, which led to us losing them. But I think that we were playing better than them the whole map. So it was really just keeping our composure and playing our game. Yeah,
Leeds, you definitely managed to play well. You got 27 frags throughout that whole map. What enabled that strong performance?
I don't know. I mean, we were just doing our game, and I was just doing my role. That's it.
So Dust 2 is a map that we don't often see you guys play. What do you guys struggle on?
I think HellRaisers is a very good Dust 2 team. They actually surprised us with the pick. We weren't expecting that map at all. So our prep was a little on the lower side, but we definitely stuck to our game plan when we practiced in the boot camp and whatnot, and it really paid off. So yeah.
Now, Cash, how did you manage just to refocus and close this game out?
I think it really helps that we won the pistol. Like, we weren't winning like any pistols like back in the past, and now we're finally winning some pistols, so getting a strong lead. It's a map that we're really comfortable on. So, I mean, we knew that we were going to probably win just because we're a stronger team, and as long as we keep our composure and do what we've been practicing, then we should win the game.
Can you just talk to me about that final round? It didn't look like you guys were going to be able to close it out just in terms of weaponry. What happened here?
Yeah, we were actually trying to pause it the round before that, and it actually went into the next round. So that round was a really weird round, but Taco got 2 kills coming out of the vents. I was looking at his screen, but I didn't have any nades to support him. And then I think we had 3 guys CT. Our goal was to rush the guy when he planted. They were both site, and then they both committed instead of fake planting. So they just fought 2 of us at once, and it was like a 2v1.
And finally, just before we head back to the desk, is there anything you'd like to say to the lovely crowd here and your fans watching at home?
Just keep on cheering, keep on coming in, and it's going to be a really good major. It's going to be good.
Thank you guys so much for your times, and congratulations on that win. Alex, over to you.
Team Liquid are going to the semi-finals, a ticket to play versus the winner of Astralis and FaZe. That is our next quarterfinal, but first we have to understand this one. HellRaisers took us to our first quarterfinal 3-map series. We got to see the third, and they're already praising the performance from HellRaisers on Dust 2, a strong Dust 2 team, individuals as well. But we are here to focus on Cash specifically, Chad, and I mean, this was finally a pistol round for Liquid.
Naf really ran away with this series, didn't he? The fact of the matter was, sure, he didn't have to do too much on Mirage, but when it got to this final map, he was lighting up the scoreboard everywhere, hitting so many phenomenal shots, making plays. These early rounds, you know, when the score was relatively close, they were pivot points, I thought. You know, if HellRaisers were able to win one of those, could have put a lot of pressure on the Liquid economy, but they were just able to snowball the half, trading really efficiently. And I think, you know, like, Taco was quiet throughout, but having those 2 Deagle kills to seal the deal there in the end is quite bittersweet.
And I think the key factor, as you said, is the trading efficiently. We especially saw Nitro on that A side. There was a very crucial round where it just kept trading with that off. Yeah. So the trading game was on point, and as you said, HellRaisers could never build their economy.
I do think that, you know, one of my biggest lessons learned here is that Nafly is just a beast. I haven't necessarily given him the amount of credit I should. I mean, we brought him in the head-to-head. He was the highest rated player, and he has put a fantastic performance here in London. But just some of the rounds he was winning for Liquid, I mean, that's another pistol round. You put a USP in his hands, and it's back-to-back maps where he single-handedly brought that round home.
In the realms of a player who, you know, when you have so many stars in this team, he is the playmaker. He seems to be the one who is allowed to take those risks, whereas Elysian Twist, sure, they do the same, but Naf does it more often than not, and you can see it paying off for him when it does, and he's able to pick up those multi-kills. His aim is looking on form, and I think just his attitude towards the game, he always looks calm. Sure, people are like, oh, you know, he's not very emotional, he's very flat in that regard, but I think that's why he's allowed to continue to keep fragging like this.
And when you talk about tier 1 players, you usually talk about Simple, Coldzera, Nico, but Nafly, he's really close in getting into that group.
I have no arguments there. I think undoubtedly one of, if not the strongest current players coming from the North American region. He's just outrageous. And Liquid are going to be performing, of course, in their semi-final. Looking at those stats as well, that only backs up this conversation.
Yeah, he was just absolutely dominant in those last 2 maps. I need to point out, in the other member we had in the head-to-head was Issa. He was the worst player for HellRaisers in the entire series, and that is the anomaly. He played fantastically throughout the rest of the tournament, and unfortunately here he wasn't able to replicate that form. Woxic, on the other hand, he had a blistering time on that AWP.
Yeah, he did. Once he got it in his hands, he was rocking it and rolling it. But, I mean, the Issa conversation, you can't help but feel that the chances are that this stage and this experience did get to him. I don't think there's any denying that. It's someone who does wear their heart on their sleeve.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Angel said before the match that they needed to use their emotions to win the game, but I kind of think it backfired, especially with Issa and Voxic. I mean, Voxic had a great game, but we didn't see the Issa we saw in the previous stages.
I think this is like just the beginning, in the sense of if we're just analyzing in the realms of this match, he disappointed. But in terms of the tournament and the future for these players and this team, it's very bright. So there's the positive signs for HellRaisers. They didn't fall flat like Big and Complexity yesterday. They actually stood up to the challenge, delivered for the crowd, entertained everybody. And I think, you know, now we're going to settle into a big game coming up next.
Yeah, we certainly can. Before we do that, though, we're going to take a look at the X factor of the match. It's brought to you by HyperX. And let's take a look at what it was, who it was. The likely candidate of, obviously, Naf, who's been on the tip of our tongue. And it is going to be another one of those sexy pistol rounds. Look how precise this is. It's just crispy clean. Not much more to be said about it. I want to see it one more time.
It's so satisfying getting kills with a USP like that. You know, he's just not even shooting a second bullet. So confident that it's going to connect in that manner. And, you know, you see that from the top players in the world. You see that over the Simples, you know, the Nikos, the guys who really back their aim in every time. And Naf's replicating a bit of that right here, right now.
He absolutely is. And, I mean, this is now a moment to start getting hyped for our next matchup. You said it's a spicy one, Chad. Do you want to tell everyone why they should stay tuned?
Astralis versus FaZe was one of the most highly anticipated matches of last year. Not only do we have the rivalry of Karrigan going up against his ex-squad, these two teams have so much firepower and present different styles, which gives us some brawly Counter-Strike. They're just going to put some massive highlights on that screen.
Yeah, that big LED wall is going to be full of Astralis and FaZe. First, it's going to be full of the brackets. So you can see just one spot left in the semi-finals. We started with 8 teams coming into the SSE Arena in Wembley, and by the end of this best of 3, just 4 will be stepping onto that stage once more. Astralis versus FaZe. The Great Danes versus the multinational roster that could. And Bjorn, this is going to be one hell of a series.
Yeah, in the second semi-final, Liquid versus either Astralis or FaZe, I really think that Liquid needs to step up their game a little bit, especially those CT sides.
Yep, they're going to be getting out of here and taking themselves a little break. When we come back, Astralis FaZe, our last quarter-final here in London.